Jack, I think the first thing, there's lots of things we need to know about you joining Red Bull KTM again, but the first thing I think a lot of fans will really want to know is, does a shoey actually taste that good when it's full of Prosecco on the podium afterwards?
Generally, anytime you're on the podium, I don't think it'd matter what you're drinking, it's going to taste pretty good. So no, it's not too bad. The Prosecco is generally lukewarm anyway. It's been set up on the podium, obviously, the whole race. So she's generally not in the best condition anyway. But no, any sort of cause to celebrate or have a shoey is generally the emotions sort of make it taste unreal.
KTM have a unique motorsport story, Jack. How does it feel for you to be rejoining this effort and to be a part of that MotoGP story that's now 7 seasons old?
Yeah, it's amazing, to see the journey that the KTM have been on throughout my MotoGP career. Watching them grow pretty much as long as I have. So it's been awesome to be an outsider looking in. And now to be an insider is going to be a whole different ballgame. What they've achieved in the short amount of time that they've been there with a brand new project has been pretty impressive. So I'm looking forward to taking what I've learnt and in my time in MotoGP and bringing it to the effort and hopefully on both parts we're able to improve.
Bike is a bike, but this will be your third different one in MotoGP. Can you describe a little bit what it was like to open the throttle of the KTM RC16 for the first time?
Yeah, as you said, finally a bike is a bike. But yeah, when we're in MotoGP, you're talking millimeters make a massive difference. So for sure, this will be let's say the biggest change. Going from Honda then to the Ducati and now to the KTM, I've been able to gain a lot of experience before stepping on the RC16 and having been fortunate enough to win on both those other two manufacturers and having the opportunity to try and win on 3 is going to be amazing. And yeah, I think the initial shakedown was pretty good. Unfortunately, only having 1 day of testing before the season started was kind of a pain, but nonetheless, it was a good day. It went better than I had expected because you kind of are always nervous when you're stepping on something completely different. But like I said, it went better than I expected, and we made some big strides in the first day.
I think race fans are drawn to your emotions, your honesty. Your victory in Jerez was very poignant. The way you've helped some younger riders. But how hard is it actually to be a public figure and to display yourself like that?
Oh, it's not too difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a normal bloke like anybody else. So that's the way I sort of see myself as, no different to anybody else. My job is riding a motorcycle, but, at the end of the day, we're all skin and bones, so it doesn't change that, or it doesn't change the human factor of it, I guess. And yeah, I think people are drawn to maybe somebody who shows normal human emotion a little bit more in the good moments and in the bad moments. And for sure, I think that's the way I've always been. And yeah, as you said, I mean, people are drawn to it a little bit more. I think people can relate to it a little bit more, so it is kind of good. I think especially in our sport in this day and age, a lot of people are almost robotized or robotic in their emotions, whereas I think the fans themselves like somebody that they can relate to and somebody that they can understand, and that we all sort of go through that roller coaster that is life.
Jack, it seems that the pressure in MotoGP is somehow higher than ever. There's a clock above you to perform and get the results done. How crucial is it going to be for you to adapt to a new surroundings, new motorcycle, and hit the ground running and get those results?
Of course. I mean, we all want to do well immediately from the first race. But we've got a little bit to go before then. As you said, there is a clock on everybody. Everybody wants results. There's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of, people's power, a lot of people's effort invested into the project. So of course, it all comes down to the rider at the end of the day. But you know, I try not to focus too much on that. I know if I can get myself comfortable throughout the tests and understand and really make this bike my own, then I'm sure we'll be able to, with my experience, with my knowledge, we'll be able to take the best out of the bike and hopefully be pushing for those good results.
KTM have a desirable collection of dirt bikes. I hope you got some written into your contract. But did you experiment at all over the winter?
Yeah, well, anyway, I've been probably one of their most loyal customers the last, 7 years. With the other manufacturer not producing a dirt bike, so I've been a good customer, and yeah, just continued on the collection. I mean, updated to the 23 450s, and then I'm waiting now. I've just sold my 252 stroke, and I'm going to update to the 300 TPI, and I'm waiting on the 125. So the 2 strokes haven't quite made it. I've got my 125 still. I haven't got rid of that. I love that thing, so I'll wait and see.
Are the dirt bikes still an effective training tool for you?
Definitely. I love it. At the end of the day, it's what I've always done. It's probably my biggest passion outside of MotoGP. It's just something that sort of, no matter how old I get, it sort of brings me back to the grassroots of motorcycle racing and makes you understand why I fell in love with the sport.
2023 should see 21 rounds, longest calendar ever. It's a lot of travelling, a lot of time away from home. You know, building a good team around you is going to be one of the most important factors. And again, as we commented, people, MotoGP fans, can see that you're a guy who likes to make a group around you. I mean, how kind of difficult is that sometimes to do?
It's not difficult. At the end of the day, you know, we spend a majority of the year with these guys, and you know, as a rider, you're putting your life essentially in their hands with every nut and bolt that goes into that bike. So I like to have a good relationship with my crew. You know, 2023 is going to be a really, really different year, I think, with the sprint races coming in. So we'll be relying on those guys now more than ever. You know, so you need a good group of guys around you that you trust, and, you know, keeping them motivated, keeping the, you know, if you're not treating them well or whatever, you know, of course, you want to try and take the maximum out of that. And I think working in a good environment creates that extra, let's say 5-10% in terms of whether it be an engineer or a mechanic or so on. It creates, you know, them to go the extra mile a little bit more. When you're already asking a lot out of somebody, you know, they start the weekend on generally a Tuesday afternoon and they don't knock off till Sunday, and they are pushing the whole time, trying to do the best for you. So the least you can do is try to create a good environment for them to work in.
Lastly, as we said, MotoGP is intense and it's tight. Can you just try and define what it's like to be a professional athlete, a Grand Prix winner, you know, a top flight racer in this category in 2023?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, looking back on it, it's amazing to still be here, to still be doing this in this day and age, because, as you said, the level is ridiculous at the moment. There's that many good bikes, there's that many great riders, and the times and the races and everything are now closer than they've ever been. So it's amazing to be a part of the championship and be one of those guys at the front in such a competitive time in our sports history. You know, to be even associated with some of the names there is awesome.